Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Teesha, and today's video I'm very excited to do, but I really am excited to do. So, as you know, I'm a nerd and I love pop culture and I love candles. And so I have created these videos, a couple now, because I love to use my own collection, see what I got, see what I think. I dive back into shows that I used to love to watch, and I try to pick out what would be their favorite candle now. I usually use mostly Bath and Body Works because that's what I have. So obviously there's probably some out there that would be better or would make more sense, but I have to use what I have, don't I? So this is fun because I think it was recommended by one of you guys, and I don't know who. I've gotten a lot of great recommendations and I'm working on a few of them. So I'm going to do a bunch of these, and you guys can tell me that that's totally dorky. That's fine. I know it's kind of a weird twist, but again, I can't be hauling on every video. So this is what is their favorite candle, or which candle is their favorite. I don't even know what I'm titling this. I'm going to say what's their favorite candle. Golden Girls edition. Cue the music. Thank you for being a friend. Just kidding, I can't sing. But if I could, I'd sing you the whole song. Where do we travel? Down the road and back again, right? So we're going to do a Golden Girls edition of what's their favorite candle. And this was fun because I remember watching this with my grandma. It premiered in September of 1985. So I was a wee bitty thing. I was about 2 years old, but it lasted until the early 90s. I want to say like 92. And then it's been on, remember Nick at Night? We watch Nick at Night all the time. I don't know that I love this shirt that I'm wearing. It's a little showy here. So if I'm showy, sorry. But I did want to wear a fancy shirt. They dressed up. For back in the day, they were fancy dressed ladies. And I really considered running out to Walmart to buy clip-on earrings, but I didn't. So missed opportunity, obviously, but they dressed really cute, and it was just a cute premise of a show. I mean, I don't even know if a show like that one would make it today because we just have a different time, But for what it was back in the day, it was awesome. I have so many friends, guy friends, young friends that have Golden Girls as like their favorite show ever, and I totally get it. So we're going to jump in, and I've got some fun facts. I'm only going to do the main four. I know they all had families and there were different characters that came and went, but I'm doing the main four ladies. And so I'm going to share some facts I wrote down as I was kind of doing my research. These are things that are pretty well known, but just kind of adds to the video a little bit. And I challenged myself. I knew a little bit about each one of them. I knew about their personalities. Sophia was the sarcastic. Well, she was kind of like the sweet, one-liner, but they were like the best lines. And then, Dorothy was kind of sarcastic, but really smart and the wise one. And then Blanche was sassy, and, Rose was just sweet. And who doesn't love Betty White? If you don't love Betty White, get off this channel. No, I'm just kidding. But so I challenged myself to do a drink edition. So this is Golden Girls drink edition. So I have one drink they would have got maybe when they went out for dinner, and then also maybe one that they would have made at home to just sit around that table. And it was only sat 3 of them. There was always 4 ladies, so we're gonna talk about that too. But we're gonna jump right in. So we're gonna start with Sophia. I'm not doing these in any order. I love them all. Betty White is my favorite person on the planet, but I love all the Golden Girls the same. So Sophia will be our first Golden Girl, and we're going to give her a couple of candles. So she was she was Dorothy's mom. She lived at Shady Pines, and then she came to live with the 3 girls in the house, ladies, and she was played by Estelle Getty. So what I found out about Estelle Getty, or Sophia, was that she was actually a whole year younger than B. Arthur, who she played her mother. And it says that it took the makeup people over an hour to age her the 20 years you would need for the generation for her to be Dorothy's mom. I thought that was interesting. Also, Estelle Getty suffered from extreme stage fright, which I didn't know that. And when you watch her in the show, or you watch her in some movies, she's been in a couple of movies too, you never get that. She's so cool. It's just kind of interesting. And I've read on many, many sites that she got a facelift after season 1, which made the makeup team's job even more difficult. So I thought that would be kind of a few fun facts about Sophia. So the drink she would order when they went out for a little nice dinner would be a Bahama Fizz. And so as you guys know, I think I recently posted, or you'll see it after this video, I can't remember when they're going up. I did order a few newer candles from Bath & Body Works, and this one I chose for Sophia because I feel like she would look at the picture of this candle and make the comment. So I had to include this one. Plus, if she was going out to Applebee's, was there Applebee's in the 80s? Probably not. She probably would have picked something like a Bahama Fizz and had a big old giant drink in front of that little tiny lady. It made me laugh. I could be really off base, but this is fresh kiwi, island pineapple, coconut water, splash of rum. So she just gets a splash. And it probably would knock her out. But it's a super cute candle, and I really picked it for the packaging because, again, if any of the 4 Golden Girls were going to address this, it would have been Sophia. So that is her going out candle. And we'll actually do this, and we'll do it in an order where we're going to do all the drink candles, and we'll come back and do all the other candles. So next we're going to talk about Dorothy, who was played by B. Arthur. She was like the sarcastic one. Some of the fun facts I found out about Dorothy, or B, were that she hated wearing shoes. She actually put in her contract that she could walk around barefoot and she couldn't like sue them if she got hurt. I just like, she's after my own heart because honestly I'm like a barefoot person. So I get it. But so she also didn't have pierced ears. So all the, they all had like a signature thing, and hers were always like those big statement earrings, but those were all clip-ons. And she decided to leave at the height of the show, and she was actually the only one that wasn't involved in the spinoff. Did you guys know that there was a spinoff? I kind of don't remember this, but there was a 1 season or 1 year of the Golden Palace where the other 3 bought this hotel, and I just thought that was kind of interesting. So for Dorothy, the drink for her is gonna be a blueberry lavender spritzer. The reason I picked this is because it's kind of a different candle. I mean, it's kind of a different drink. I've never even heard of a blueberry lavender spritzer. The reason I chose the blueberry lavender spritzer for Dorothy is because it's kind of one of those straightforward things. Like, she knows exactly what she's getting, and she knows exactly what she wants if she orders a blueberry lavender spritzer. The notes are juicy blueberry, lavender petal, lemon juice with a splash of club soda. Also, she didn't seem like the one of the group that would have a drink. She would probably pick something off the Shirley Temple menu. So this one smells pretty interesting. It's very much just like juicy blueberry, lavender. I don't get the club soda. I wonder if we'll smell that on burn. But I was kind of interested in what this smelled like, so I picked it up in like the last sale, and I gave it to Dorothy because, again, she was quite a straightforward woman, so I feel like she would have ordered some kind of straightforward drink. And also, she just knew a lot of random things. She kind of kept them all in check. So I'm like the other 3, I wouldn't have even known this existed, but I feel like Dorothy would have. So that's her drink candle. And let's move on to Blanche. How fun was she? I just remember being a little girl, and I kind of like, I feel like I had a grandma that was somewhere between Blanche and Rose. Like, my grandma wasn't like sassy, but she could give it to you if she needed to. And most of the time she was kind of sweet like Rose. So I always told her that. But yeah, so Blanche was played by Rue McClanahan, and Rue had in her contract that she got to keep all the clothes. So any outfit that she ever wore on the show, she owned. And at the time of her passing, she had over 13 closets full of the clothing that she wore from the show, which I think is just kind of like the coolest thing. Her age on the show was never revealed. There was hinted to it, it would state something like in her 50s, and then you kind of age her children and kind of figure it out, but it was actually never stated in the show. And she was the youngest in real life by a full decade. So she was a Golden Girl, but she was the youngest Golden Girl. And so for her drink candle, I think we are not going to be surprised by this one. Bow ties and bourbon. I just know that she would know what this is. It's a hint of bourbon, fresh bergamot, splash of citrus. And if this doesn't smell like the man she was always after, I don't know what would, because this kind of smells like a mature man. A very clean cut, had some money with the bourbon, I think. But yes, Blanche would have been after the bow ties and bourbon. So that's the candle for her. And then that brings us to Rose, played by Betty White. She was the silly one. She always, I think the most unique thing about Rose was that she was so out of character for who Betty White was. I mean, we know Betty White from like playing on all those game shows. I mean, those are shows I watched with my grandmother. So Password, I mean, she's so smart. She knew everything. So for her to be able to play Rose the way she played Rose, from, you know, St. Olaf and all the stories, and yeah, so she was great. But her fun facts, things like I said, I knew a lot, but she's the only one that's left from the original four, which is sad. She's 100, I think, 99, I think. I think she's 98 or 99. I should have wrote that down, but I didn't. I think she's 98 or 99, or she will be 99 very soon. She played a staple panelist on many game shows. Password, the match game I love to watch with my grandma. That's where she met one of her loves, and her longest love, the one, you know, that she says is her love of her life, Alan Ludden. And and then my last fact is Betty White's career has lasted 8 decades. That's the longest span of any actor or actress, and she actually has a Guinness World Record. I thought that was so cool. I didn't know that. So for her drink candle, we are giving her the bubbly rosé. Because again, I don't feel like Rose drank very much, but if she ordered something off a menu, I feel like it might have been this one because I had her name in it. Pink sparkling rosé, sweet blood orange, and a splash of cranberry juice. I absolutely love this candle, and I absolutely love Betty White, and I loved Rose. So this candle just made sense to me. Now let's move into the drinks they would have had sitting around that table having their little coffee chats, if you will. So I also came up with another kind of list of drink candles for each of the girls. Maybe one that would just not be like a going out drink, but, you know, a drink nonetheless. So we're going to start with Sophia again. And I picked for her a mint chocolate chip milkshake. I feel like she was just so sweet, but so different. She wouldn't have wanted a chocolate or vanilla. She would have wanted something like mint chocolate chip. And this has notes of vanilla mint ice cream, chunky chocolate chips, whipped cream, natural essential oils. I just got this one too, and it's really good and nice and, you know, really authentic. And so I picked that for her because I just didn't feel like she'd sit around drinking black coffee. Then for Dorothy, I did go a little bit more straightforward, and I picked Paris Cafe because this smells like pretty much a cup of roasted like coffee beans. It's very strong. She was the strongest of the personalities on the show, and you know, the way they acted anyway. But rich roasted coffee, sugar brioche, vanilla creme with essential oils. This is a strong candle. It's a powerhouse, and so was Dorothy. So this is the drink she would have had sitting around that table in the morning. And then we're going to go to Blanche, and I went with a coffee themed drink for her too, but I felt like, you know, she was a little Southern belle, so she would have got something like a cold caramel latte, maybe hot though, not cold. And this one is from Goose Creek, so it doesn't have the notes, but it's basically, it's got like toffee, caramel, a little bit of that like brioche. So this is the candle I pick for Blanche when she's sitting around telling the girls about some man drama that she had. And so that leaves me with Rose, and I couldn't really decide if, you know, I knew if she liked coffee or tea. I kind of looked for like a tea candle, but I didn't have it. So with her, I just went with Sweet Mint Julep because I just feel like she might have had this in the old St. Olaf days, and she would have talked about how they created it and, you know, who accidentally talked her into doing something that she didn't realize was kind of not okay. So this is crushed rosemary, mint, splash of bourbon, sweet vanilla, simple syrup. And all those words, sweet, simple, didn't that remind us of Rose? So that's how I came up with the Sweet Mint Julep. And so honestly, the elephant in the room is I obviously needed a cheesecake candle. Did you know they ate over 100 cheesecakes on that show? Sitting around that table in the kitchen, you know, talking about life. And so I wish I had a cheesecake candle. That would have made a lot of sense. I also wanted some kind of like spritzer for these, you know, the drink candles. So I remember I had a berry spritzer, but I burnt it. And so that would have been a good one. Or I think anything kind of lemon scented because their house was always so clean. It was probably cleaned by someone, but it was always clean. And so I bet it always smelled like lemon citrus, like cleaning stuff in there. So those were some other like honorable mentions that I didn't have in my collection, like a limoncello, didn't have it. Like I had a apple cheesecake cupcake, but I burnt it. And then I had that berry spritzer. So those were ones I was on the hunt for, but I didn't come across them. And I'm sure there were other ones, but I just thought doing like a drink edition and picking 2 for each one would kind of make this video a little bit different than the last one. So that was what I was going for. And I'm going to wrap up with some fun facts about the show overall. They ate over 100 cheesecakes. There were only ever 3 chairs at that table. If someone else had to be in the conversation, they brought a stool over, and they always placed, so Dorothy was always in the middle because of height and the way that it would make the camera and the angles turn out. And then they always put the person that was probably the least central of that storyline on that stool. And then Rose and Blanche traded chairs based on if Rose was getting, or if Blanche was getting the phone or going off on a date. So if anyone was exiting, which everything exited the kitchen stage left, I guess, they would sit on that chair farthest away. So I thought that was kind of interesting that they kind of shared that. And the last, you know, obviously we had to address the song. So originally, before they started filming for the show, they wanted Bette Midler's song Friends, and they couldn't afford it. It was too expensive. So they went with the theme song that we all know and love. And they also, other TV shows, I can't remember all of them, but I remember Empty Nest was one of them. They actually, setting the plot, it was in the same neighborhood as the Golden Girls. And each of the Golden Girls appeared on that show. So I thought that was kind of interesting too. So that wraps it up. I did What's Their Favorite Candle, Golden Girls edition. One of my favorite shows, one of my favorite things about the 80s. And like I said, it was just a different time. So I don't know if that show would do well now, or it's kind of fun to think about who would be on that show. Betty White could still be on that show, but now we would have to pick some different ladies since the rest of them are all gone. But yeah, let me know how you think I did, or if I totally messed it up. You guys can let me know that too down in the comments. And as always, if there's another show that you'd love to see, if you've already told me, I'm working on it. I'm working on a bunch of them. But I really like doing this series. It's just kind of fun to jump into my collection and look for candles that would work. It always is disclaimer that it's going to be the candles I have on hand. Of course, there's always going to be better ones, but I don't have anywhere for like 1,000 candles. So just going to be the ones that I have. But this is kind of fun. So let me know what you think of it down below. And of course, I appreciate you if you like this video. It's really helping me out. A lot of people are seeing my stuff, and I'm growing and I'm loving it. And I have a lot of exciting stuff coming to the channel in July. Well, we're in July, but for the month of July, and I couldn't do it without you guys. It's just your constant like support, comments, liking that, you know, is helping me. So I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you in a video tomorrow. Thank you guys. Bye.